Hello everyone and welcome to the Little Blue Fly. In today's video we will be designing with quite a large greenery haul that I will be sharing. This video was supposed to be Thursday's video, but I'll explain things a little bit later on in the video, what happened and why I couldn't have this as scheduled for Thursday, but here we are on Sunday and we are going to be playing with some fabulous faux greenery, and I will be letting you know where you could purchase some as well if you already don't have some already. So that being said, let's begin, shall we? Okay, so it's time to do some designing here on my painted harlequin table. And we will be playing with some greenery today. I'm going to start off with these very large, greenery stems that I purchased from Pottery Barn. They do have a few new stems out this year. And I'm going to try to make sure that I purchase a few of them here and there, possibly every year. They can get so costly, but they are worth every penny. When it comes to greenery, you really get what you pay for. And these are very nice, natural looking. They're quite large. They have a great width to them as well as height. Again, they can be purchased from Pottery Barn. I will be sharing a link for these in my products list. And again, I did purchase 4 of these. I will not be decorating with these today. However, this upcoming week, we're going to be in the living room, because as you know, I'm living here at the home. I'm starting to warm things up. I'm getting a feel for what it is I'm wanting to add into my different spaces. So again, this coming week, we will be in the living room, giving some very nice spring touches. And here is some more greenery. These were purchased from Hobby Lobby. They are $9.99 a piece, but they will be on sale this coming Monday, so tomorrow. I purchased quite a few of these. I always wait for the greenery to come on sale because you can get 2 for the price of 1 at Hobby Lobby. So I believe I have 6 stems here total, and we will be decorating with these today. Again, I try to look for stems that have just a really nice natural look and feel to them. And they have touches of brown in the stem. They go well with the other greenery. Overall, I think Hobby Lobby did very well in choosing this greenery. You cannot beat the price point, that's for sure. And then I was looking around in Hobby Lobby for, other greenery that would work well with the project I had in mind. And I thought, I really need some ivy. And I know there's very nice ivies out there to be had. I just recently worked with some in my dining room, but I felt that this, even though, it's a different texture than other ivies I work with, I just felt that it would really work with all of the other greenery. And I have some floral to share. I will not be decorating with these today. However, this week I will be in my living room. And these are wonderful poppies. Who does not love the sweet poppy? In California, you know, that's our flower, the California poppy. And it's always wonderful seeing these come up every year. My mother, she had she loved gardening, and she always had these coming up from her rock garden bed, just California poppies everywhere. And her neighbors would stop and admire, and they're just so fresh, and they make one just feel really good. So I will be adding these in my living room. And I purchased them from Pottery Barn. So all the greenery that I did share, I will make sure to place it in my products list for those of you that are interested in getting some yourselves. I know many of us already have quite a bit of greenery at home. I was just a little bit short, believe it or not. And these are different items, the floral pins and the tape here I might use. The hot glue gun, wire cutters, some scissors. A round foam. I purchased this from Hobby Lobby. You can get those anywhere. And the greenery that you see to the left here, that is what I will be using today. Look, to put together an arrangement. So this vessel here, I recently purchased from Hobby Lobby. And it's the Spring Shop, and it was originally $34.99, and I was able to pick it up for $20. So I went ahead and purchased two, and the foam is to place inside of the vessel. So here we have everything. And now I did purchase two. I just have one vessel up here for right now. And I have this grapevine wreath that I will be playing with today, and it was purchased for $4.99. Again, many of these pieces I'm using, many of you probably already have at home. I have some vintage brushes here that I will be using. These are in my Amazon storefront to purchase for those of you that might need some. And this wax right here. This is why the video was delayed, right here. I tried using the dark wax, and no, it was a no-go. And we'll speak more on that in a moment. Okay, so on this vessel, we have quite a bit of white, and I just don't care for that. I don't care having the white mixed on the black. It's just not the look that I'm going for. And here is this dark wax, and as I'm getting it onto my brush, I'm going, no, it's not gonna work. But I thought, okay, well, let's try anyways. We'll work on the top of the vessel because my goal is to cover over the white. There's quite a bit of white on here, and it almost looks like a brushing over as well. And no, we're about to change that and warm things up. Will not touch the inside because foam is going to be there. And I'm putting this on, and no, it's not going to work. Now, this is what I needed. I could not find, because I still have many of my items packed and scattered out here and there. And this is the black wax by Annie Sloan. I'll make sure to place it in my products list. And a fresh brush. Nothing like having a fresh can of wax. And this is what I needed. I needed the color black, not dark wax. And we're just going to go over all of the white. Now, many of you might be saying, well, why do this? Just go ahead and spray paint it. Well, you can do that if you like, but I personally do not like to take that route sometimes because it changes the texture. And I did not want to change the texture on this vessel. I already placed just a little bit down at the bottom, but as you see, there's quite a bit of white. So I have some napkins. I use that to remove the excess wax off of whatever I might be placing it on. And again, you just dab it all over. And then with the tissue, you could use a cloth as well. I just like using napkins. And wipe off the excess. And I will be working this all over the vessel. Okay, so here we have it. It's completed. You can still see a little bit of white here and there, and I am absolutely fine with that. But to have it in excess, like the one here on the left, no. Again, I'm not a big fan on the black and white. A cream, sure, or a rust, perfect. So I placed the wax, and it did not change the texture of the vessel. It actually brought it out more. So here I have the round foam, and I will be placing that inside of the pot. I will be using these wire cutters, maybe some of the tape, and definitely the floral pins. I'm telling you, I'm the worst with hot glue guns. It has a stand, and I'm still going to knock it over 50 million times. Help me. Okay, so the inside, you can see I did not go over it. No need to, because it's going to be covered up with foam. It does have a bit of a slope on it. It's not flat. So when I place this in here, the foam, I'm just going to hot glue the edges because the center will not touch. But as you can see here, for some reason, my glue's not melted. Help me. It's not melted. So we'll be back when it's melted. It's not hot. Oops. Now we have some heat. And we're going to place the hot glue all over. I try to do this part as quickly as possible. I mean, we're smoking hot. Look at that. Because hot glue likes to dry quickly. So all around the edges, just a little bit in the middle for good measure. Why not? And I'm just placing it down right here in the center. And I will be adding hot glue going around the outer edges of the foam. My son just brought me some ice water. He's so sweet. Okay, so now I have this grapevine wreath. I know many of us have these, but again, my items are just here and there and everywhere, so I thought, well, what the heck, I'll just buy a couple more. Now, so what we're going to be making today is a topiary, and this was such a fun project. I'm going to take these floral pins and add hot glue at the tips. You know, they even have those hot glue beds. I would love to own one of those where you just plug it in and you don't have to work with the gun. You just dip it in that hot glue bed. Maybe, who knows? Maybe I'll get one soon. And then I'm just placing it over the stem and pushing it into the foam. And thank goodness I am wearing gloves right now, or you would have heard a different noise coming out of my mouth for sure. Nothing worse than a hot glue burn. Well, I mean, there is, but ouch. So these gloves are a lifesaver. And again, I'm just hot gluing the tips and pressing it down in. And then the excess glue strings, I just, twist it around my fingers to help remove it. Now I'm going to turn the pot around because we're going to do the same thing to the back as the front, because we need for this wreath here to be very sturdy. Okay, so we're nice and sturdy now. I believe I placed probably at least 15, under 20 pins, because I wanted this to be sturdy, because I'm getting ready to put quite a bit of greenery on here, and I don't want it falling over. So I'm going to, I already have cut quite a few pieces off of one stem, and let's see if I remember. I think it was 4 or 5 pieces off of each stem. I'm hoping that I can get through this project with 2 of them, but I do have 3 of these greenery stems to work with. And what's nice about creating in one of these grapevine wreaths is you can really just, stick your whether it's floral or greenery stems right in there, and you can also bend if you need to, and just push it right in that grapevine wreath. And most times, most of the time it will stick. Right now it does not want to, but that is okay. I will play with it. I don't want you guys to watch me fussing with this stem to try to get it to go in there, but it does eventually. And then after I get all of these pieces placed in, I like to give it just a little hit of hot glue as well. But my goal is to not only get it to attach to this wreath, but also to come out freely. Because again, that's greenery in nature. That's what it does. It tends to just move out here and there. And as we're working around the wreath, I just, because there is wire and all of this greenery, I just bend it in the shape of the wreath. And if you see little pieces fall off, you can either find, where it came off from, which I tried, and I don't know. I just don't know where it's at. It must be in the vine. So I'm going to simply add it somewhere else in the wreath. But what I am doing here is I have taken the largest floral stem, and I am placing that on the wreath first. So we will go the largest to the smallest. And you can do this with anything. With greenery that you have at home, pull it out of them boxes or off of them shelves or out of the bags, wherever it might be, under your beds, up in your closets, out in your dusty garage. Bring it out, because this is so much fun to make. And if you don't have a grapevine wreath or a vessel, go and get one. They're having a great sale at Hobby Lobby, or thrift it. You can find great pieces in the thrift store, in the thrift stores. Okay, so as you can see, I finally made the left corner piece cooperate. And I'm just adding all around the wreath the larger stems. I bend it where I might want it to stick in the wreath, and you'll see what happens here. When you bend it, then the floral will come out towards you. And you want that, because otherwise it'll just be flat going around the wreath, and you really don't want that. You want to give dimension to your arrangements. So again, I just bend one of the branches and tuck it in, and it makes the floral or the greenery come out. Now I will pretty much be doing the backside. I just wanted to show you all the different pinning, and I did give it a good dose of hot glue going all around it as well. And I will share here in the near future what we decide to work in here to cover that bit up. But again, I just wanted to go over this, quickly. Down at the bottom, I add one, pull out your greenery or your floral to so that it doesn't look so uniform. I mean, if you like that, it's great. Okay, again, you're making this your own. This is your very own creation, and the price point that you will pay to make it is going to be way less, not even a third of what it would cost you if you went and purchase this already put together. Topiaries can be very costly. So just again, placing the larger stems around, bending it to go with the wreath. And then I place it in. And when they're all in place, I give it a little shot of some hot glue. And again, these ones right here were purchased from, this greenery was purchased from Hobby Lobby. And then I'll place one up at the top. So a total of 4 stems. So, well, one full stem, but the 4 pieces that I cut off from the stem, that's what I used. Just 4. On the front and the back side. Now to work with the ivy. I love it because it is variegated. It has different colors. We have some yellows going on in here and some greens. And with my little cutters here, I'm just cutting off all of the stems. I don't know if you can see it here in the video, but we have quite a bit of a storm system coming through here. It's getting windy outside, so our light is going to change quite a bit during this video. The lighting is. Okay, this is where we start adding in a little bit more interest and depth, and that is with this ivy. On each stem or ivy pick, there was 3 very large, long branches. And I will be using those for the ivy to come down off of the front of the pot, because that's what ivy does. It goes wild. It comes down off of things. It weaves in everything. And so that is what we will be doing with this arrangement. With the ivy, adding in more depth and weaving it behind, around, and even above some of the larger pieces. So I like to place things first before I hot glue it. Otherwise it's kind of stuck and you have to get to pulling and tugging to get it out, and that's a big hassle. So I always place first the stems. If I like it, I pull back. If I like how it looks, then I go in with a little bit of hot glue. So I'm placing this in here, and then again, just having the different greenery mingle. Just pull it through and have it go behind and come out front. The name of the game is to just be wild. Let your wildness come out when making a floral arrangement, but not too wild, because then it'll just look like a hot mess. That's important. Stay with the form of it, but still come out just a little bit. So, okay, I have a piece coming out front. Here to the left and to the right, and then one going across up at top, because that's what ivy does. Ivy really gets thick down at the bottom of a pot. I have everything weaved through. And then little pieces that I will be adding in, just, because ivy, it gets really crowded in an area when it starts to really grow and branch out. And I was able to achieve that with one of these ivy stems, or pick. Now on the back side, I will be using another ivy pick. And here we have it all, again, just a couple coming down, one going through the pot, going back behind larger floral. Again, following the form, but yet letting it come out and away from it as well. And then I place the little stems down at the bottom, because it shows new growth coming out that will be working its way around the grapevine wreath. And make sure that here on the outside, the edges, to add as well, to keep that natural flowing look going. So I'm going to place one up here at top, and then just have a branch come up to the front and one in the back. It really is to your preference, right? When you're making one of these. Now, what do we see over here to the right? Well, moss, of course. And I will be placing the larger pieces down here at the bottom to cover up the foam and the floral pins and the hot glue. And it just really helps the arrangement to look that much more natural when you blend in faux with real. So we have the real moss and the faux greenery. Tuck some in here to the side. And that's pretty much what I had for the moss because it's packed away somewhere. So I had to go to the store, I'll share that in a moment, and purchase some more. I found it at the Home Depot. At Home Depot. That's where I purchased it from. Again, just adding it around. I really look for the empty spots, and that's where I decided to place it. And there's this, you know, different type. There's so many different types of moss out there. So I decided, you know, I don't want that. That one is a little bit different. It's not the sheet moss. And I decided not to so much go with that look. Okay, so I have all the bottom filled in. I did add another large greenery pick and just placed it in the back and have it come out over the ivy. And these little ones here that you will snip off from the ivy, I just add them in here and there down at the bottom. Really helps make it look just a little bit more full. I hope this tutorial is helping you all and inspiring you to want to bring out some greenery or go and get some. Here is the sheet moss I just recently purchased from Home Depot. But yeah, just bring life. Nothing brings more life and home decor to, well, for me in a home than greenery. It will really help warm up a space. And again, just make it seem like someone is living there. You know, it has a way of bringing life to a space. And this home is so large that, and you'll see, we'll talk about it more. We will revisit this this week in the living room. I have such a large space here at the home. I'm a maximalist, so I don't like big, open, airy spaces. I mean, it's okay if I'm at a storefront shopping. But then even that might get a little bit boring, because if it's open and airy, it means there's not enough decor in there to look at and be had. Anyhow, let me stop. So this week we will be warming up the living room area and possibly going into this little dining room, this little nook area here off of the kitchen. But the kitchen we are definitely revisiting that here shortly. So what I'm doing, I'm just finishing things up a little bit here and tucking back some of the sheet moss behind the floral, even behind the ivy. I just look for areas that just look a little bit too empty, but again, I do not want to cover up the entire grapevine wreath, because, you know, then I'm taking away that beautiful character of the natural wood stems. So we have the naturals with the grapevine wreath and the moss, and the faux with the other two types of greenery. And again, if you were inspired by this video, they are on sale this week at Hobby Lobby. And the vessels. Those are, I think those are clearancing. Now to do a little bit of decorating, I just want to share just how lovely this piece looks inside of a wicker basket. You can place these topiaries on a tabletop, up on shelves, above kitchen cabinets. We'll see how I might like them there. But again, look how wonderful inside of a basket. I just had to share this little bit here with you. It will probably change. I'm pretty positive it will change. Many things are going to change here in this dining room. Here are some of my vintage Bleu books that I like to go into and reference. I'm having fun with these. They were gifted to me from the party I purchased all the ironstones from. So place books down with the greenery, and where there's books, there should always be something very special that I love. And that is a candle. I grabbed this from my reading room. This is one of my vintage candle vessels that I found out there on one of my little adventures, and thought to place it on top of the book. Look how beautiful. Greenery, books, some candle. And there's also a special little something I will be adding inside of the wreath. A little bit of whimsical character that I so love to add all throughout my home. So if you are new to the Little Blue Fly, I invite you to subscribe, to follow me as I have different decorating adventures throughout the seasons. And also, if you enjoyed this video, please think about giving it a thumbs up. And as always, I love to hear from you all. So until later on this week, have fun decorating in your homes.